But we begin tonight with an extraordinary figure out of the Southern DHB about the impact of treatment delays at Dunedin Hospital to men with prostate cancer. In an interview recorded by Checkpoint just over an hour ago, the Chief Medical Officer of Health at the Southern DHB, Dr. Nigel Miller, told us he fears delays in treatment have led to the lives of more than 6 men being shortened. More than 6 men. This is a striking admission from the DHB of lives being shortened as a direct result of unreasonable treatment delays. You'll hear that interview in a moment. Checkpoint has followed treatment delays in the urology department since the beginning of August. Then, on August 17th, a review into the urology department at Dunedin Hospital confirmed a significant level of clinical risk amongst long-waiting patients. Tonight, we speak to one of those men. And as a result of that interview, we went to the DHB and got the admission of numbers you are about to hear. But we do begin with Stephen Hoffman, 62 years old. He had prostate cancer. It has spread, and in doing so, it is likely to significantly shorten his life. His GP referred him to Dunedin Hospital in September of last year. He had classic symptoms presenting very obviously, and a history in his family of the cancer. So when did he get surgery?
On the 6th of the 7th, 10 months later.
10 months later, and I'm looking at the notes, the letter from your radiation oncologist, which says when you were referred, you had a high suspicion of cancer, an abnormal DRE, progressive urinary dysfunction, a family history of prostate cancer. There were so many signs, weren't there, in your very first referral?
Yep, the referral basically said it was enlarged prostate, suspected cancer with a urgent referral.
Yes, once again, your patient notes, his referral was graded as a 3 with a wait time of 6 weeks. In the end, you waited 10 months for surgery.
Yep. And that's basically, if I'd have seen them straight away when I should have been and had the operation within 2 months, that means that it wouldn't have been sitting there in me for another 8 months to turn into a ruddy great tumour and basically shorten my life.
Forgive me for asking what is a pretty blunt question, but what's your prognosis, Steve?
5 years came up in amongst the conversation.
And what is your quality of life? Do you have a degree of incontinence?
Oh, full on. Yeah.
The review into urology at Southern DHB was made public on August the 17th. That's the same day as your letter. Checkpoint has been covering pressures at the DHB, as you know, Steve. We covered it at length prior to the review being released, particularly in urology. But when that review came out, that was all made official. Now, one of the review's key observations was, and I quote, there is a significant level of clinical risk within the long-waiting patients at the Dunedin site. And as we know, you waited 10 months between referral and surgery. Now, if you don't mind, we're going to play you a piece of the interview with the Southern DHB CEO, Chris Fleming, that we did on the night the report came out. We were speaking about that clinical risk.
Any delays can create problems in terms of ongoing care.
Did they? Did those delays create problems in terms of ongoing care in some cases?
Look, what I'm told is where a patient with a malignant condition such as prostate cancer has delays in making diagnosis and in reaching definitive treatment, there is undoubtedly a risk of progression of the cancer. This may not present initially, and it may be some time later that's understood, perhaps years after the treatment.
So has this put patient well-being, health, at risk?
It does put patient health and well-being at risk, and we just need to do much better. You
do?
Yes.
It says, key observations, number 2, there is a significant level of clinical risk within the long-waiting patients at the Dunedin site. Is that good enough?
No, it's not good enough, and do I agree with it? Yes, I do.
So, Steve, we're back with you now. That's Chris Fleming, the CEO of the Southern DHB, saying you were exposed to an unacceptable level of clinical risk because of the delay. He really is talking about you, some other men too, but this is your case. How do you feel about this?
Well, at the end of the day, I'm pretty pissed off that they didn't see me sooner. It's aggressive cancer I've got inside me. if I'd have been seen in the correct amount of time, within 6 weeks, the specialist initially, they would have been able to put the flags up and get into me and get it done. But that never happened. It just should have been dealt with bloody earlier, right at the start, when the flag was up on the referral from my GP.
In September?
In September, and I never seen that specialist till the 20th of February,
and
5.5 months
and
later.
the specialist noted you had a rock-hard prostate consistent with the prostate cancer. He noted that you were in urinary retention. It was known that you had a family history of prostate cancer, but you still didn't get surgery until July.
Yeah. So,
have you received an apology?
No, I haven't. I'm not that bloody worried about apologies. I mean, basically what I'm doing here at the moment is I'm trying to get the cause to get them funding. The nurses and doctors in that hospital are bloody great. They've got nothing to work with. They need more funding, and it's just, yeah, that's what it's about. And I just don't want it to happen to anyone else. That's the initial stages of what I'm on about. I don't want to be angry about it because I have to keep myself right to let me try and heal up as best I can. So I try and keep a pretty good frame of mind about the whole thing rather than get all bloody bitter and twisted about it, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Stephen Hoffman.